Well, here we are at what was the Angel, was traditionally the start of the New Year's Day tour in Hastings, which of course isn't happening this year at all. In fact, these days we start it a little bit earlier. We start outside the Flower, which is also now a closed pub, and we just drop in at a friend's house on the way here. But here we really have our first big dance, which would be Brighton Camp.
Well, you said everything I was going to say. So.
Well, there you go. However, we need to now branch Brighton Camp. And so here we go on the first road of the tour. You might notice that actually I can't be bothered to carry my melodeon around today. So this is the view from where we would have been dancing. Lovely view of Morrison's car park, but also Hastings town centre. So we just process along this road, and we will be stopping at various houses for refreshment, which is also really, really lovely. So we'll just carry on processing. So we're
also getting just danced down St Mary's Terrace, and now we're coming into the bottom end of Manor Road, and there's a pub here which is of course sadly gone, but you can there. And I know we've just been told by some people that there's some drummers ahead of us, so we're going to try and catch them up. And I need to tell you how icy it is. It's always a very icy winter on this day.
The pub was called the Manor, and of course the tour was originally organised to go around all the pubs of the West Hill, all of which now, I think other than one, are sadly closed. So into Manor Road, which is just a residential street, and usually it's great fun to have people hanging out of the windows waving and so on. Sadly not this year. Well, here we are on the tour. This is the Lord Rawdon. This was a fantastic pub. Guy in there used to sell pickled onions, and in fact we used to go and there were pickled onions all over the bar. The guy made the pickled onions, and we would eat those pickled onions, and I tell you, we'd come out of this pub very, very merry by now, because we've already had the drinks in all the houses, and we've had 2 pints in here, and now we also stink of pickled onions. But this is, I think would have been about on the tour for about 2 hours by the time we get to here.
Yeah. You need to play. So we're on the turn back up to where we started, going on Calvert Road. This pub, the Mount Pleasant pub, is still open,
It's the only pub that's still open on the West Hill.
and the barman it takes me ages to read all the witticisms he has on the bar. And if you look behind you, there's other people doing what we're doing.
And here is the site of the famous phone box where we used to play Nickelodeon from, but that's now gone as well. And this is where Mick the Pole had his famous fit in the road, which we usually reenact. And this is Bob and Izzy and Rosie, who are doing the same thing. So we've now danced along St George's Road, and in the good old days we would now go in here, which used to be the Granville, yet another closed pub. But we still dance here for old time's sake, although usually we stop the traffic, which isn't really going to happen just with a guy with a camera.
No.
But
And you can't tell that we're about to dance up Whitefriars, which is quite steep.
a very steep
Doesn't
hill.
look, it probably doesn't look it.
Got to remember, we're all quite drunk by now anyway. So continuing up the hill, having stopped at a couple of houses, and some people stop at the little shop because it's also got an off licence in it, and away we go. Now, even at the best of times, without dancing, you can hear how we are. Now we've reached the top of the hill. In the good old days, we now went in here for a good deal of refreshment, because this was the Whitefriars pub.
Yeah,
Lovely pub it was. Used to have loads of room.
yeah,
Used to dance inside because it was freezing cold.
yeah.
And now it's flats. In the good old days, we now went in here for a good deal of refreshment, because this was the Whitefriars pub.
Yeah,
Lovely pub it was. Used to have loads of room.
yeah,
Used to dance inside because it was freezing cold.
yeah.
And now it's flats. And so into Priory Road, on almost back where we started. And so to the last place
Yeah,
on the tour, the Plough. We usually go in here and have a really good warm up.
yeah.
This pub hasn't been open since lockdown, but apparently it's not officially closed, so we're all hoping that one day we might get in there for a drink again.
And normally we reach here and it's pitch dark.
It's usually pitch dark, and we've been at it for about 6 hours,
Yeah.
and people are staggering around anyway,
Happily.
happily, but in a very stupid state.
Right.
And